Hello and welcome to Transmission. Tonight I am joined by Kurt. Welcome, Kurt.
Thanks, Nate. Pleasure to be here.
Thanks for coming along. So we're having a bit of a chat before, and so you're quite involved, and it's been a pretty recent thing, involved at the moment with Joy radio program.
Yep.
Can you tell me a bit about that?
Well, yeah, so it's Joy 94.9, which is Melbourne's queer radio station, and it's great that they include the T on the LGBTI, little alphabet soup there, and yeah, I've started a radio program specifically based on trans issues and educating the population and inspiring the trans population. So we just basically every week on a Tuesday go into the studio and pick a topic, discuss it. Sometimes we have some really personal stories on. The other week we had a guy on who told us about his battle with alcohol dependency, which is good because it's nice to address these issues that are amongst the trans community, such as depression and anxiety, which lead to drug and alcohol dependency. So yeah, I love it because it's really important, I think, to open up discussion about things like this.
Yeah.
And if there's one person who's listening and it makes an impact on them, then I've done my job, and that's what I'm there for.
Yeah. So you hit some pretty heavy topic type stuff. Do you do anything a bit more light-hearted and? Yeah.
We had you on the show the other night, and we talked about some dirty trans man things. So that was heaps of fun, and got good reception from that episode. Everyone said it was really good. So I think people do enjoy, a bit more chit-chatty, relaxed, bit of fun things, a little bit of dirty talk in there. Yeah.
So I suppose what sort of prompted you to want to be involved with that? I'm
not really sure. I actually got asked for an interview on a Joy program, and they said, "Do you want to come back?" And I said, "Yeah, great." I think the good thing about, I suppose, in an organisation like that, they're really looking for diversity, and I sort of use my trans privilege as much as I can, because trans people don't get much privilege, but when it's there, use it. So yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
May as well make the most of it.
That's right. Yeah, and it's just good to be getting more trans people on air, and getting our voices heard.
Yeah. Because there doesn't seem to be a lot just in general media.
Yeah, that's right.
Trans people. Stories and things like that. So that's really cool. So outside of sort of Joy and doing all those sorts of things, what other sort of stuff do you like to get up to?
I sort of got my finger in a few different pies. I've got 2 dogs at home, and I'm really passionate about animals. And I also restore and repair old bicycles, mainly BMXs. I'm really into that. So
nice.
Yeah, it's good fun. And I've got a loving partner at home, who I'm really lucky to have, and she's been with me since first transitioning. Nearly knocked my tea over. These cups are empty, so that's all good. So I'm lucky enough to have a partner, and she's really good support for me. So
you said sort of you were together sort of right at the start with the transition. So how was that?
Yeah, it was interesting. I sort of didn't know how it would go at first, but we talked about everything, kept everything open, out on the table and honest, and it's worked. We've had our ups and downs, but at the moment I know that our relationship is very secure, and we both love each other as much as the other one, and so we're both really lucky.
Yeah, because I mean it is quite a challenging time period, like in terms of transitioning.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff sort of going on in hormones and all those sorts of
hormone changes. And also just the fact that your whole sexuality is changing, I guess, because your gender is changing. And the same with my partner. She didn't know whether to be a lesbian or to be straight or to be pansexual, or she didn't know what to label herself. So we've gone without labels, and she's just her and I'm just me, and I guess queer is the best word to use.
Yeah, kind of works.
Yeah,
kind
it
of
works.
all-encompassing.
It is, yeah.
And you were mentioning earlier when we were having a bit of a chat that you were thinking about sort of doing some further study.
Yeah, so I'm really interested in non-for-profit organisations, especially centred around the LGBTI community. So I think it's really important that trans people especially have someone to talk to that knows what they're going through and is educated on trans issues.
Yeah.
And I know at the moment in Melbourne, I think there's only one or possibly two counsellors available for trans people to go see who, you know, and this counsellor can understand them coming from a trans point of view. So yeah, in the future, I think it'd be really good to be that person that trans people can come to for some counselling.
And have you ever thought about it in terms of if you were to become sort of a counsellor, have you thought about that in terms of, because I know that I know a lot of people within the trans community and in terms of friends and social situations.
Yes.
Like, have you thought about how that would work?
I haven't really thought about that, but I totally know where you're coming from because
Yeah.
it's such a small community that I'll probably know most of the people coming in the door, but you know, that's all along with the study. You've got to learn to be confidential, and just keep it professional.
Yeah. So, have you sort of put any feelers out or anything like that in terms of what you might do, or?
Not yet, Nate. I'm gonna start the study, which is starting in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to it. So I'll see how that goes, and once I get that qualification and a bit more information about what it's sort of like to be a counsellor, then I'll start mapping out a little business plan and sort of writing down the challenges that I'll have to face.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And because at the moment, so you're doing a lot of stuff with, you know, everything. So, you know, do you get sort of downtime, get to play with your dogs?
Yeah,
all
a little
those
bit.
sorts of stuff?
Yeah. Well, I'm fortunate enough to live near Mary Creek, up in Coburg. So I take my dog there every day, and he's just fearless, Staffy Cross Jack Russell. So he dives in the water, goes swimming, goes running. Yeah, loves it.
What's his name?
Duke.
Duke.
Yeah.
And how long have you had Duke?
Duke's about 3 years old at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's fully grown, but he looks like a puppy Staffy, if you can imagine that.
Well, because he's crossed with a
Jack Russell cross. Yeah, so everyone that sees him goes, "Oh, puppy!" And he plays on it and loves it and jumps all over them.
Yeah.
And yeah, but he's not. He's 3 years old. He's fully grown. And he should be not naughty like a puppy, but he's not.
Well, if you look like a puppy, you can get away with it.
Exactly.
So similar, like you might have if you look like a teenage boy, you can get away with
totally
a little bit more.
Yeah, teenage boy things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally.
Well, look, I would love to continue to chat, and I think we could cover so many things.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for sort of coming in and having a chat to us tonight and sharing a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, awesome. It's been great fun, Nate. Thanks for having me.
No worries. So thank you to Kurt. You've been watching Transmission.